Shalom, Yasharala. This is your brother Dawud Dar, coming at you with another video from GMS Tampa Bay 07. First and foremost, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well. Salutations to you, I can push truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. Alright, we're going to get into this here lesson dealing with these holidays here we have here in Babylon. We're about to celebrate. We not about to celebrate shit. These heathen here in Babylon is finna celebrate Christmas, you know. And so we're gonna get into the scriptures, you know, and you know, actually Christmas is spoken about in the Bible. So we're gonna just jump right on into it, you know. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, and I'll start at 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh spake it unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way. Okay, so learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Okay, so learn not the way of the heathens. Okay, don't go following off with the shit that they be doing. Don't go monkey see monkey doing their ass. You know. Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. You know, and you know, one of the things that's going on around Christmas time is I think it's the winter equinox and all that stuff, and the stuff that's going on in the sky and stuff like that, which they, you know, they go into that for some, they like looking at the stars and shit like that, you know. But not only that, they, you know, they had astrology and stuff like that they going into. But to learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. Okay, so the customs that these heathen has got going on, they vain. It's just vanity. They doing it for naught, you know. You over here, just doing some shit and ain't got no, you know, how do I put this? You buying something that you know you can't damn use, you know. It was just vanity for you to buy that, you know. You don't want to. It's like you going to go look at a damn $4 million mansion, knowing good and damn well you make $8.25 at McDonald's. Like, you going to go look at that mansion, making $8.25 at McDonald's, that's just vanity to go there. You done wasted your time and the person who's showing you time, you know? It says, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands with the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. Okay? Now we're about to get into this description of Christmas in this here Christmas tree here. It says, the customs of the people are vain. One cutteth a tree out of the forest, okay, that Christmas tree, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. Okay? Now you be like, oh, it's just a tree they cut down. No. They deck it with silver and gold, okay? Like your Christmas tree, nowadays you put Christmas lights on there to get that same so-called twinkling or glistening effect. Back then they had silver and gold. You know, when the light hit it, it would reflect, you know? They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails, with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must need be born, because they cannot go up. Hold up. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers, that it move not. So first of all, they over here worshiping this damn tree. You know what I'm saying? But then they got to hammer it down to the damn ground so it don't move. Like, what kind of idle shit is that? That shit don't even move. You had to cut it down and do all the damn work and decorate it, make it look nice. It ain't made you look nice. It ain't holding you up, you holding it up. It's not giving you order, you ordering the tree. You know what I'm saying? Verse 5, they are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must need be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither is it in them to do good. Okay? For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Yahweh, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. But nevertheless, you know, getting back onto this Christmas tree here, you know, that's some vain ass shit, you know. And when you go into history and stuff like that, going back onto Nimrod, you know, Nimrod and Babel is pretty much where all this shit started, you know. And they have a little folklore about, you know, where the Christmas tree come from, going back to where Nimrod basically was cut up in pieces by his brother, and the body parts separated. His wife, Semiramis, went looking for him, found all his body parts, put it all back together, and so on and so forth. Now, I think she was missing the penis. She couldn't find the penis or something, but she wanted so-called getting pregnant. from a dead man who was missing his penis, and that, that woman wound up having a baby called Tammuz. But going back onto that, this is where, when you see like the Washington Monument, those are called obelisks. Those obelisks are representations of Nimrod's penis. Okay. Now also the Christmas tree, this whole Christmas deal is getting into Nimrod and Semiramis. The Christmas tree again being representation of Nimrod's penis. The star that's put on top of it would be basically the sperm coming out of the penis. It's a fertility deal. Then we have that, and that's also in the shape of a penis. But then when you go and you see those so-called Christmas wreaths or whatever, that's a representation of the woman's vagina, and the little I don't know what they call it, the little red berries on there is supposed to be representation of her ovaries. This is where they get all this heathenistic mess from. This goes all the way back to Babel and Nimrod. Nimrod had all this shit going on. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 8. I'm going to start at verse 1. Actually, I'm not going to read all this for time's sake. Man, I don't want to read some of this in here, though. Nevertheless, I'll just jump to 2 points in here real quick. This is Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 14. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of Yahweh's house, which was towards the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Okay? Now, again, in this here Christmas time, now Tammuz is being a representation of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You have to go into that backdrop story of Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. Like I said, he was supposed to be cut up in pieces and body separated. His wife put him back together, didn't have the penis, and apparently she had an immaculate birth with this child named Tammuz. Nimrod, so-called being God, his son being the son of God, he was so-called reincarnated back into his son. This is the story that they give, But these women going in there weeping for Tammuz, And around the same time of the year, you have a lot of so-called Christmas plays and things like that going on, where they have the so-called nativity scenes and stuff like that. And this is the same shit that they're doing. They're gonna have a Christmas service and all this and all that kind of stuff. They're gonna be sitting over here weeping for Tammuz, or modern day Cesare Borgia. They're not dealing with the actual people that's written about in the scriptures, the real Most High and His Son. Not only that, they're gonna have that abominable ass how do you say, ham dinner on Christmas. They doing all these fucking abominations. Bigging this holiday up as if it's like who the world English calls Jesus' birthday. Oh, it's the birth of Jesus. And all the things they did in the nativity scene and all that, so on and so forth. They just sitting there weeping for Tammuz. I needed to get. Trying to find the I thought it was one was this is 7. Never mind, that's not going into that. Yeah, that's the one I wanted to hang tight. Oh, this is the one I wanted right here. Okay, it wasn't a 70 man. Ezekiel 8 and 16. And then he brought me into the inner courts of Yahweh's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of Yahweh, between the porch and the altar, there were 25 men, and their backs towards the temple of Yahweh, and their face towards the east, and they worshipped the sun towards the east. Okay? this is getting into that sun worship they got over in those Catholicism churches, you know, that IHS, Isis Horus Set. That's what they worshiping, you know. And you'll see that's written inside of this circular disc-looking thing that's pretty much like a sun, you know. That they over here worshiping the sun. Then he said unto me, Hast thou seen this, O man? Is it a light thing that the house of Judah they commit the abomination which is committed here? For they have filled the land with violence. They return to provoke me to anger, though they put the branch in their nose. Okay, so you know you got these people in the churches, the church leaders and stuff like that, causing the people to err, especially when it come around these holiday times. You know they're gonna have the Christmas dinner, the Christmas play, all this and all of that. You know, but yet at the same time, again, these so-called church leaders, they got their backs turned on the Most High. You know, they're like, nah, we don't see the things that He commanded us to do. We don't see, like, you know, we just read in Jeremiah about the damn Christmas tree. Don't follow the heathen. They're gonna turn their back on all of that. You know. All right, on. This is Jeremiah chapter chapter 44. We'll start at verse 2. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel. Ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the cities of Judah, and behold, this day there are a desolation, and no man dwelleth therein, because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, that when they went out, they burnt incense to serve other gods whom they knew not, neither they nor their fathers. Okay? Now, some of the strange gods that they burn incense into, you know, dealing with this here Christmas deal, as a little kid around Christmas time, you know, you have the kids set out the cookies and the milk and stuff like that, and having a list for Santa Claus and all kind of bullshit like that, you know. But they over here, you got your kids over here worshiping gods that our fathers didn't know about, you know. And back in those days, they wasn't over here talking about no Santa Claus and the reindeers and these little elves and stuff like that. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising up early, sending them, saying, oh, do not do this abominable thing that I hate. You know, and that's what this video and us going on Highways and the Byways is about. We letting you know about these transgressions, you know. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn away from their wickedness, to burn incense to other gods, you know. So, you know, I'm expecting, you know, when this video get posted, people come across it, nah, we don't want to hear about Christmas in that light. You know, we want to go out and have our little gifts and get all this and that and put cookies out for Santa Claus and so on and so forth, you know. Have a little kid go to the mall and sit on Santa Claus' lap talking about what they want Santa Claus to bring them. You're supposed to go to the Most High for all of your wants and things you need. You're supposed to pray to Him and ask, you know, anything that you ask in Yahweh's name shall be given unto you, you know, as the scriptures say. But yet you going over to Santa Claus talking about if you're a good child or whatever this year, He's going to get you this or that, you know. Yeah. Therefore now, thus saith Yahweh of power of hosts, the power of Israel, wherefore commit ye this evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling out of Judah, to leave you none to remain, you know. And right here in this point in time, you know, you got our people who struggling to pay bills, struggling to keep the lights on, this and that, but they'll go and struggling to spend time with their kid. They'll go and work 1,000 hours overtime and get all these damn loans and stuff just to go buy all these damn Christmas gifts and all this stuff to put up under the tree and stuff like that, just for your kids to break up all that stuff. You know, come January, it's all broken and lost and all this and that. You done put all that shit up, you know, all that work in for nothing, you know. And speaking about the gifts under the tree, another thing about the Nimrod deal, when you got them gifts up under the tree, you know, the reason they put the gifts up under the tree is so when you walk up to the tree, you basically bow down to pick up that gift. And what are you doing? You bowing down into Nimrod's penis, you know. You worshiping his penis. And yeah, this sounds like some freaky, fucked up shit. Like, man, ain't nobody worshiping nobody's penis. They have a term for this. It's called phallic worship, you know. Go look up phallic worship, and you'll see that these people worship this. And here in America, it's very prevalent. You Your eyes haven't been opened up into it, you know. When you have a tie around your neck, basically phallic worship, you know. The obelisk here, phallic worship. That Christmas tree, phallic worship. You worshiping Nimrod's penis. All of this is representation of Nimrod's penis, you know. For ye have forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. Or have you forgotten? You know? Let me get that real quick. This is Deuteronomy 32:7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy fathers, and he will show you, and ask thy elders, and he'll tell you. You know, going back, look back at your history. You see how you was fucked up. You see how fucked up you are now. Well, how'd that happen? Because you went off, you know. And shit. How did that happen? This is how it happened. Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command you this day, all these curses shall come up upon thee and overtake thee. Okay? This is why we're getting destroyed now, because we over here just day in, day out, putting up these damn holidays from Thanksgiving to Christmas. They all abominations, you know, all the way on around. And yet our people constantly keep doing these things over and over and over again, and yet they wondering why they don't get why they don't ever get up out of the calamities that they in, you know. Oh no, hold up. Jeremiah 44. We was down. Verse 10. Jeremiah 44:10. They are not humbled, even unto this day, neither have they feared, nor walked in my laws, nor my statutes that I set before thee, before your fathers. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all of Judah. And I will take the remnant of Judah that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, that they shall be consumed and shall fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine, and they shall die. From the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by famine, they shall be in execration, and an astonishment, and a curse, and a reproach. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, and I have punished, as I have punished Jerusalem, by the sword, and by the famine, and the pestilence. Basically, you know, basically the Most High saying he's about to fuck us up for doing all this type of stuff, you know. We're going to get further into more of the stuff that they're talking about further down as we read. So as none of the remnant of Judah which were gone out into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall escape nor remain, that they should not return to the land of Judah, to which they have desired to return and dwell there, none shall return, but such as shall escape. Now, and the purpose that I'm reading this on through is to basically to set up and show how the Most High is feeling about this type of deal, because it's going back and forth to how he's feeling against this and his charges against you and the shit you into. It says, then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods. Okay, now a lot of these holidays that we have here in America, a lot of the men, they're not really into all that stuff, but the women is the ones that's highly into this, Then they do it. They had an excuse for the kids and all this and that. So then all the men which knew their wives had burned incense to other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all of the people that dwell in the land of Egypt, and Patros answered Jeremiah, saying, okay, so they sat back and watched as their wives was over here burning incense to the Queen of Heaven. Now the Queen of Heaven, again going back onto Semiramis, that was one of her first titles, And now in modern day's term, which is still who you see in that image as you looking at the so-called mother of Yahushua, you know, that picture of her and the child, you know, that is actually a painting of Lucretia Borgia, but the whole characteristics of all that is the same Semiramis deal, you know, the Queen of Heaven. And they also call Mary, you know, in that whole tense, the Queen of Heaven, you know, symbolizing it's the same shit, just a different name, you know. As for the words thou hast spoken unto us in the name of Yahweh, we will not hearken unto thee. Okay? So these men sat there and watched their women doing all this shit, and you try to tell them to get right. They're like, nah, we're going to keep doing whatever we want to do. We don't care what the Most High say. But we will certainly do whatever thing goes forth out of our own mouth. Okay? Like I just said, they want to do their own shit. To burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her as we have done. And we and our fathers, our kings and our princes in the city of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then we had plenty of victuals and were well and saw no evil. So, you know, basically like in today's terms, you know. Oh yeah, we didn't celebrate many Christmases beforehand. Ain't nothing bad happened, you know. But since we left to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and pour our drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by famine, you know. You just got done buying all these $2,000 or $3,000. Well, first of all, you didn't just work like 4,000 hours in overtime just to go buy $4,000 or $5,000 in some Christmas gifts. This is going to be destroyed by damn near the end of January, you know. And then when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings on her, we did make her cake to worship her and to pour out drink offerings unto her without our men. Now, this Queen of Heaven deal shit, you know, this is also where you get your birthday cakes from. You know, you blowing out your candles on the birthday cake. This whole ritualistic thing goes back on, like I said, in the Semiramis, Nimrod, and all that stuff, you know. And so we getting into these so-called little holiday type of stuff still, you know. And Jeremiah said unto all the people, to the men and to the women, and to all the people which given him that answer, saying, the incense that you burn cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, ye and your fathers, your kings and your princes and the people of the land, did not Yahweh remember them, and came it not into his mind, so that Yahweh could no longer bear because of the evil of your doings, and because of the abominations which you have committed. Therefore your land is desolation and an astonishment and a curse without the inhabitants as at this day, you know. So these people over here wondering why they all fucked up and why they in debt and going paycheck to paycheck and everything all fucked up for them. Like, bro, you over here worshiping these strange gods the whole time. What you think the Most High finna do to you anyway? Like, you lucky you don't just kill your ass. You know, you lucky you just taking a whole bunch of L's right now. But, you know what I mean? You over here doing these abominations. You like, look, don't tell us not to sit here and burn these incense to the Queen of Heaven and make our cakes. We don't want to hear none of that stuff. But yet, at the same time, you realize you all fucked up. And you don't see the correlation between the two. Verse 23, because you have burnt incense and because you have sinned against Yahweh and have not obeyed the voice of Yahweh, nor walked in his laws, nor statutes, nor in his testimonies, therefore this evil is happening unto you as it is to this day. You know, you still want to go take your kids to go take a picture with Santa Claus and, you know, celebrate your birthdays with your birthday cakes and shit like that, and Christmas gifts under the tree and all that. You want to do all that? All right, the Most High got you, you know. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people and to all the women, hear the word of Yahweh, all Judah that are in the land of Egypt. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, power of Israel, saying, ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths and fulfilled with your hands, saying, we will surely perform our vows that we have vowed to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, to pour out drink offerings to her. Yea, we will surely accomplish your vows and surely perform your vows. So basically, these people is making a pact. You know, they over here are serving strange gods. You know, the Queen of Heaven. You know, and they birthday cakes, and you see it today. Obviously, we still following these same traditions. You know, whenever your birthday come around, you're gonna get your little birthday cake. You're gonna sit around, light the little candles, blow out the candles, and make a wish. Who are you making that wish to? You know, who are you blowing these candles out to? Who are you setting this up into? Basically, worship with all this stuff, huh? Who are you eating that cake and having that cake offering made unto? Okay? When you go down to this Christmas tree and you bow down to, who you bowing down to? You ain't even bowing down to a person. You bowing down to a motherfucker's penis. You know? When you put these decorations up, What do you celebrating and portraying? You portraying a fucking heathen's how do you call it? Reproductive organs. You know what I mean? Therefore, hear the word of Yahweh, all of Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, saith Yahweh, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man in Judah and all the land of Egypt, saying, Yahweh liveth. Behold, I will watch over here for evil and not for good, and all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine until there is an end to them. So the Most High said, I ain't gonna watch over you for good and no evil. Fuck that. Let Santa Claus do that for you. You know, you over here worshiping him, giving this nigga cookies and shit and milk and giving him time and you being good for him so you can get you some good gifts that your mom and them buying for you. And you don't even honor them. You honor some fucking fairy tale that ain't even real. You can't even honor me. Like, what kind of shit is that? Yet a small number that escaped from the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt and in the land of Judah, and all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall know whose word shall stand, mine or theirs. Okay? You see these calamities start to come to pass, you know, we telling you the truth about these scriptures, you know. Who's prospering more in a sense of, you know, getting somewhere spiritually? Us or y'all? Y'all putting these Christmas trees up and y'all don't realize why y'all having all these calamities happening into your life. You got all these goddamn idols around you, you know? And it shall come to pass as a sign unto you, saith Yahweh, that I will punish you in this place, and you shall know that my word shall surely stand against you for evil. Okay? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much clear as day. You know, most I say he's going to punish you, basically going to make an example out of your ass. But, you know, our people are too damn dumb to sit there and hearken unto that example. You know, they too dumb to sit there and read between the lines of what the Most High is trying to tell them, you know? Sitting there eating pork and shit and over here dying of high blood pressure, don't even realize why, you know? Last scripture we're going to get, this is the book of Amos, chapter 5, start at verse 21. This says, Amos 5 and 21, the Most High speaking. I hate, okay, first and foremost, the Most High hate. How about preaching hate? The Most High over here preaching hate. We're supposed to be followers of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, who is a follower of Yahweh. So if Yahweh hates, you know, his son hates, we want to be in the righteous path, we're going to hate certain things, you know? It says, I despise your feast days. I will not smell your solemn assemblies. Okay? Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melodies of thy vows. But let judgment run down as water, and righteousness as the mighty stream. Okay? So basically here the Most High, look, it's as clear as day. It's like, look, I hate your feast days, you know? I don't like your little feast days and the days you sit down to have, you know, your little dinners. And mainly here in America, you got like two of them. One main feast day is Thanksgiving, which just passed not too long ago. And then you got Christmas. You know, Christmas is another somewhat of a feast day. You know, you have a big Christmas dinner and things like that. You know, most time on your job, depending on where you work, they send you home with a big-ass ham, fucking 20-pound ham and shit like that. Make sure you get good and juiced in, you know. Make sure you commit these goddamn abominations. If you ain't got enough money because you done bought all these Christmas gifts and stuff, we'll give you the damn ham. We want you to be full-blown into these abominations when the season come around. You know, this is how Esau's thinking, you know. Says, I hate and I despise your feast days, and I will not smell your solemn assemblies. Okay? And you know, like I said, when you sit down at that Thanksgiving Day table, saying your little prayers, or your Christmas Day table, and you saying your prayers, and we just want to thank God for these presents and these gifts and this dinner and my family. He don't give a fuck about none of that. It's like, yo, man, it's like some woman, you got your woman who telling you, yeah, baby, I love you, this and that. She telling you all that while she's sucking another man off. Or some other dude hitting it from the back right at the moment while she's telling you, like, bro, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Your actions speak louder than your words, you know? And it says also, take away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melodies of thy vows, you know? And around this time, you got these goddamn Christmas carolers going around and singing all these damn songs. Silent Night, Amazing, I don't know about Amazing Grace, but Silent Night and all them, you know, all them damn Christmas songs they be singing. they're going around singing all of that, you know. And it says, take away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melodies of thy vows. You know, you out there singing and shit. You know, they singing. Mostly it's be these church groups and stuff going around singing and stuff. The Most High ain't hearing none of that. You know, you having your little Christmas dinner. The Most High is not into that. You getting your kids these Christmas gifts and having them worship a fucking penis and Santa Claus and shit like that, and thanking Santa Claus for all the things that Santa Claus brought you. The Most High definitely not with that, you know. And when he bring that damn judgment upon your ass, you know, then you gonna know, you know. Then you gonna understand. But until then, you know, you gonna keep doing what you do, and then, you know, then you gonna be destroyed off, you know. But you can't even realize the things that's going on in your life and the calamities coming upon in your life. It's all tied into the things you're doing. Like I said, you spending all your overtime, or not spending all your, you collecting all this overtime before Christmas, wearing your body out, tiring yourself, not spending time with your family or doing whatever the hell else you need to be doing. If you're a man, obviously you ain't no man of the Lord doing that, you know what I mean? I was going to say, if you're a man of the Lord, you could be doing some edification, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you doing all of that shit, you know what I'm saying? And now, you got your kids and shit over here worshiping like I said, Santa Claus and shit. You know, this is just bullshit. You know, right after all of that, like I said, your kids then sat here and you done worked all these hours. Your kids sat here and worshiped and thanked Santa Claus and gave his ass cookies and shit like that, worshiping him. And come January 15th, all that money you just spent on all them damn toys, they under the bed, broke up, hidden, somebody stole something, they ain't even playing with a day off looking at the new shit. You done lost sleep, lost, you know, stress, sanity, and all that kind of stuff. You know, your kids not even praising the Most High, they going off for all this stuff for what? Just for you to be destroyed in the end, you know? But yet you still don't see the correlation with this. You don't see the connection between these things, you know? That was my last precept. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and close this here video out. Lord willing, it was edifying. So next time we say, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that rule well. Salutations to you, out there pushing truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. Shalom.